lads, it's Iain from RTL here. Welcome to Ladies' Day. It's the last Tuesday of the month, and on the last Tuesday of the month we dedicate the videos to lady artists. And today we've got one American and one Canadian. And we're going to kick off with an album ranking of Stephanie Lynn Nicks, or we know we have Stevie Nicks. Known for her work with the band Fleetwood Mac, of course. Started a career with then boyfriend Lindsey Buckingham on the very underrated Buckingham Nicks album, which led to them being asked to join Fleetwood Mac in 1975. In that time, she has managed to release 8 solo albums, and some of them are alright, some of them are not. It's a bit of hit and miss with her solo stuff. I mean, she's got a fine voice at the end of the day. So we'll have a look at her album. So, coming in at number 8 from 1985, a third album, it's called Rock a Little. Lots of people play on here, so we'll just go straight into the tracks. So, the first song is called I Can't Wait. Yes, it's got that distinctive Stevie Nicks vocal, but it's 80s pop, and I'm not a big fan of it. I really do struggle with that track. Rock Ahead, Go Ahead Lily, one of the better songs on here. It's a little bit rocky, but it's got that 80s production on it, which, you know, as you know, really grinds me. Sister Honey starts off with that typical 80s drum beat, and then it goes into a not a bad track, actually. One of the better ones again. I Sing for Things. It's alright, nothing special. Imperial Hotel, I don't mind this. Co-wrote by the Heartbreakers' Mike Campbell. So it's got that feel to it, and it's one of the best tracks on the album. Some Become Strangers. I just hate the 80s guitar. Someone thought it would make it sound smooth and tinny and not natural. Nah, doesn't do anything for me. Talk to Me. This sounds more like a heart song in the 80s. It's okay. The Nightmare. The old horrible drum intro. Pretty poor song, to be quite honest. If I Were You, cheesy, horrible keyboard sounds from the 80s. Doesn't do anything. No Spoken, really good song, co-wrote by Keith Olsen. It's one of the better album tracks on here. I don't mind that one. Has Anyone Ever Written Anything for You? Last track on the album. Lovely piano. Dump the cheesy keyboard, and it's not too bad. This album, there are a couple of good tracks on it, but it's just a product of the 80s, I'm afraid. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 3 out of 10. Coming in at number 7 from 1982, the second album, The Wild Heart. On here we've got Stevie Nicks, of course, doing vocals and backing vocals. Sharon Salani, backing vocals. Sandy Stewart, the synthesizer and keyboard types. Rush Kunkel on the drums. Roy Bittan on synthesizer, Waddy Watchell guitars, Bob Glaub on bass, we got Bob Ihall percussion, and the one and only Mr. Ben Montench on keyboards as well. First track is called the title track, Wild Heart. Okay, it's got a nice bit, decent beat to it. I don't mind that one. If Anyone Falls, I do like the quirky keyboards on this. It's still got that 80s feel to it, you know, even this is early 80s. Gate and Garden, not a bad track. I love Stevie's vocal on this. It's one of the best tracks on the album. Enchanted is a good little rock track. Some nice guitar work on there, excellent. Then she does Nightbird, which is a duet with Sandy Stewart. It's really nice. It comes across as a very sort of Fleetwood Mac dream sort of track. It's not too bad. Stand Back, the hot drum machine. What's going on? We don't need that. Then the best track on here is a duet that she does with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, I Will Run to You. Big hit in the States. None of that nonsense 80 here. It's just a great vocal between Stevie and Tom. Nothing Ever Changes. Good track, but I don't like the drumming. Sablon Blonde, another good track. Again, it sounds a little bit like Dreams, but I don't care because it's a good track and it's a great vocal from Stevie. Beauty and the Beast, the last track, second favourite track on here. The combination of that piano and keyboard works well, and another super vocal. Not a bad album. The full-on creeping 80s production was coming through, but there's some pretty solid tracks on here. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 6. The fourth album from 1989, The Other Side of the Mirror. Lots of people play on here. Rooms on Fire, big hit for her again in the States. I quite like this. It's got a nice vocal from Stevie. Good track. Long Way to Go. This isn't too bad. The drumming's a little bit for me, but it's a super vocal from Stevie. Two Kinds of Love, a duo she does with Bruce Hornsby. It's a typical 80s ballad, but Bruce and Stevie sound good together. It's not a bad track. Oh My Love. I don't like the bass on here. It's too funky. It doesn't fit with the rest of the track. Ghosts. Great song written by Mike Campbell. It's about good arrangement as well. Whole Lot of Trouble. One of my favourites on the album. I love the arrangement to this. It's a very good guitar piece and Stevie's vocals. Fire Burning, written again by, co-wrote by Mike Campbell. Certainly got the Heartbreakers feel to this track. It's a well decent track. Always like that one. Cry Wolf. It's a pleasant enough track, but it's one doesn't rock with my boat. Alice. It's okay, but it has got a very good saxophone solo on it. Juliet is a typical Stevie Nick song. She wrote so many of these sort of songs. Nice gentle vocal, excellent stuff. But my favourite track on here is Doing the Best I Can to Escape from Berlin. Atmosphere is one I love the echo on Stevie's voice. Good track. I Still Miss Someone, Blue Eyes, which is Johnny Cash, written by him. It's not too bad. I don't mind that. Okay, they've gone away from the 80s production. It's more got a poppy sound. It's not a bad listen. I don't mind listening to this album. I have got it, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.5. Okay, coming in at number 5, got the 7th album, released in 2011. It's the first album since 2001, and it came out on the 30th anniversary of the release of their debut album, and it's called In Your Dreams. Lots of people on here. First track, Secret Love. Love this song. I tell you what it reminds me of, Sarah, Fleetwood Mac song. Wonderful little song. For what it's worth, another Michael Campbell pen song. A popular song. I love the arrangement. It's got a great vocal. Super song. In Your Dreams. Co-wrote with Dave Stewart. And it's mentioned, and she mentions it in the lyrics, a really good song. I love that. Wild, it's a Grosser Sea. Dave Stewart again co-wrote this. Her voice sounds great still. It's a wonderful vocal. Love that. New Orleans, a little song about New Orleans. I don't mind that. The lyrics are pretty good. Moonlight, A Vampire's Dream. Love the start of this. It's nice and gentle, and it just builds up into a nice little contemporary rock track. Annabelle Lee. It's the lyrics are used from an Edgar Allan Poe poem, and they've put the music to it. Wonderful. Soldier's Angel. Now this features Lindsey Buckingham. This is my favourite track. You can tell it's Lindsey's involvement on it. It's got that distinctive guitar playing. Them two singing together, I've always loved. It's a great song. Everybody Loves You, featuring Dave Stewart on the vocals. The keyboard at the beginning is good, and then you got Dave Stewart singing. It's pretty good. Ghosts Are Gone, second favourite track on this album. It's a great little rock track. That riff is really good. You May Not Be the One. It's got a sort of bluesy sort of acoustic guitar. Pretty solid song. Italian Summer. Now, you have noticed that Stevie's vocal has gone down a little bit, but it's still a strong voice. And then Cheaper Than Free, featuring Dave Stewart, a real sort of country sort of song. Great vocal from both Dave and Stevie. I really like this album. It's got some great tracks, some great duets on here. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.8. Okay, coming in at number 4... from 2014, it's called 24 Karat Gold. Now this is songs from the vault. They were recorded in Nashville and Los Angeles, primarily between 1969 and 87. And there's one cover here, which is Vanessa Carlton's Carousel. So you've got Stevie Nick on vocals and keyboards, backing vocals. Vanessa Carlton on Carousel, Sharon Salaney on backing vocals. We've got Lady A backing vocals, which is Hilary Strotz, Carl Kelly and Dave Harwood. Jessica Nick's backing vocals on Carousel. Laurie Nick's Let's Get the Family Involved on backing vocals, and that's Laurie is Stevie's sister-in-law. Dave A. Stewart on guitar and Waddy Watchell on guitar. So the first track is called Starshine. I love this. It's a lovely keyboard and vocal thing, and it's got a nice bit of guitar in it as well. The Dealer. It's got a modern day country feel to it. It's a nice song. Mabel Nomad. The guitar work is super. It's a lovely track, and another fine vocal from Stevie. Blue Water featured Lady Antebellum. Really nice duo like that. My favourite track on here is a thing called Cat House Blues. It's one of my favourite tracks by Stevie Nicks. I love that bluesy, jazzy, simple work. Lovely. 24 Karat Gold. The bass line is brilliant on this. Solid drumming. Another fine vocal from Stevie. Hard Advice. Simplicity is this. A little bit of a... It's not an acoustic car, but an electric car just plugged in, no effects. Excellent track. Lady, simple track again. Piano, Stevie. Then we have a track called I Don't Care. Co-wrote with Mike Campbell and Waddy Watchell. Excellent track. It's got an Heartbreakers feel to it. I think Stevie's vocals do suit that sort of style of their music. It's a wonderful track. All the Beautiful Worlds, the progression is good. The little bit of bongos adds it a little bit of flair. Then we have Belle Fleur. Love the start of this. I love the bass line. It's a groovy drum beat. Excellent track. Then we have Carousel, which is a great song, and her and Vanessa do a great version of it. She Still Loves Him. A nice simple track. Keep it simple. Simple guitars. Great vocal. It's got a little bit of a Celtic feel because it's got Uranium pipe on, horns or whatever they want to call it on it. Great track to end the album. I do like this album. It's nice to hear some of these older tracks that she done brought to life to enjoy. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 3, 6th album from 2001. It's her first album since 1994, and it's called Trouble in Shangri-La. Performing on here with Stevie is Benmont Tench on acoustic piano. Lindsey Buckingham does some additional guitars and backing vocals. Sheryl Crow, guitars and vocals. Other people, but they're the 3 people that do join in. So my first track is the title track. I love this song. Trouble in Shangri-La, one of my favourite songs ever. It's just a great track, great vocal, really solid song. Candle Bright. It's a very nice thing with Sheryl Crow doing the backing on here. It's lovely. 2 great singers doing a great job. Sorcerer, excellent track. I like how it starts off gentle and it builds up to a nice little finish. Planets of the Universe. I like those rolling drums on this. It really, really works. It's a really good track. Then we got Everyday. This has got a little bit of that swing feel to it. Excellent track. Too Far From Texas, which is a duo she did with Natalie Maines, as a country singer. And the guitar work, I think, is Mike Campbell. You can tell you stuff. It's a nice duo. Excellent track. That Made Me Stronger. Solid work here. The guitar work is super, and a very strong vocal from Stevie. It's Only Love. Written, it is a Sheryl Crow track. It's a real simple song written by her. She does a great job. Love Changes. It's alright, probably the weakest track on the album. I Miss You. It's got a nice gentle rhythm. I love the vocal, of course. And Bombay Sapphires. Her voice has gone a little bit. It gets a little bit deeper on this track. You know, she's. You know, as you get older, everybody's voice changes. It's still a fine vocal though. Fall From Grace, an excellent track. Love the vocal on here, but not one of my. It is one of my favourite tracks on here. Fine performance. Her first album since 1994, and she comes out with a strong album. There's a couple of tracks on here that are not particular favourites, but on the whole, it's a very, very good album. And I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 2, the 5th album from 1994, Street Angel. Lots of people on here, but there are some significant performers. Mike Campbell does guitars on some of the tracks. The one and only Mr. Bernie Leadon does as well. David Crosby does some vocals. Ron Blair does some bass, and Bob Dylan plays on one track as well, guitar and harmonica. So the first track is my favourite track, one of my top 10 tracks by Stevie. Blue Denim, good opener, wrote by Mike Campbell. Definitely got that solid sort of heartbreaker sound. Fantastic track. Greta, I love the beginning of this. The keyboards is a little off kilter, and it makes it, what's going on here? But it comes back and it's super track. Street Angel, probably one of the weaker tracks on here. I'm not a big fan of that one. Darklands, co-wrote by Bexy Cook and Trevor Horn. And you know Trevor's sort of got his hand in the song and the writing of it. It's a great little track. Listen to the Rain, I love this. Second favourite track. I love the riff. It's a killer one. Solid track. Destiny, this is and Listen to the Rain has got some lovely harmony vocals from David Crosby. Destiny, it's a lovely sing vocal from Stevie on that one. Unconditioned Love, the one song on the album I don't like, it's a little bit wishy-washy. Love Is Like a River, the opening, which is very good. It's got a lovely keyboard behind it. Rose Garden, it's a very good song. The vocals are great. Maybe Love Will Change Your Mind, a really good song, quirky keyboard. And then she does a cover of a Bob Dylan song, and Bob Dylan plays on it, and it's Just Like a Woman, and I do like the version. Kick It, brilliant track, love the guitar solo. Mike Campbell written all over it. The bongos add to it as well. And the last track is Jane. Again, it reminds me of Sarah. I love the gentleness of it. It's a really nice track to end the album. Now this is an album that's got a bit of everything on it. Blues, rock, country. It's a great listen. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. But the number one album for me is her debut album from 1981, Bella Donna. We have got Stevie Nick on here, of course, Sharon Salaney and Laurie Perry on backing vocals, Russ Kunkel on drums, Waddy Watchell on guitar, Davey Johnson acoustic guitar, Bob Gorb on the bass, Bob Byhall percussion, Ben Montench appears on here, so does Ray Britton, Don Felder, Duck Dunn, Tom Petty, and Mike Campbell, of course. The first track is the title track, Bella Donna. Love this. The guitar work is great. The bass line is awesome. Some lovely singing on that as well. Kind of Woman, a very good track, a very great vocal. Written by Stevie and Ben Montench. Her involvement with the Heartbreakers is brilliant. It's really good. And of course, it's got a really nice organ feel to it, which is our Ben Mont. Excellent track. Then we have a great track, big hit in America this was, Stop Dragging My Heart Around, a duet with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Second favourite track on here. What more do you need to say? I love Ben Mont's keyboard work on this track. It's terrific. Think About It, co-written with Roy Bittan. It's a fine vocal, some great guitar riffs, super little track. After the Glitter Fades, the piano at the beginning of this is wonderful. Super track. And then we've got my favourite track by Stevie Nick solo, Edge of 17. That distinctive riff, absolutely killer, brilliant track. How Still My Love. It's a really good track. One of my favourite vocals from Stevie on this album. Some nice guitars. Then she's Leather and Lace, another big hit she had with Don Henley from the Eagles. They suit each other again. They complement each way. Outside the Rain, a very simple song, just like the stuff she was doing with Fleetwood Mac. It's just a great track. The Highwayman. I think this is a great track to end the album. I love the story behind it. It's a story thing, and it's an outstanding vocal from Stevie. There's so many tracks on here that are in my top 20 songs by Stevie Nicks. It's got my favourite song on it. It's got a great duo with Tom, and the one with Don's great. It's just a great album, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.2. So there we go, Stevie Nicks solo stuff. There are some good. I think on all the albums there are some great songs. So really good one to do. Okay, coming up next in retro ranking on Ladies' Day is a great singer, a great writer as well. It's the one and only Joni Mitchell. So join me for that later. Bye for now.